Okay, in this video, we're going to go through the PO system. And basically, we're going to go from creating the initial order, receiving it, and posting direct to payables. So to start with, the PO system from the main menu is number 11 here. Purchase order entry. So I'm just going to key in 11, and it takes me to that menu. Okay, the programs we're going to use the most are Program 1, which initiates the initial purchase order, Program 3 that does the receiving, Program 4 allows you to edit the receiver, make any changes, or just receive product without ever doing an initial purchase order. And number 6 will post that purchase order direct to payables. So let's get started. So we're going to start with number 1 and hit return for default for today's date. Store number, if you do return, it's space, which is the main branch. And we're just going to hit return through all this. Okay, when I hit return, it issues a PO number, defaults to today's date, and remember, we have alpha scan down below, so all the same thing applies. You can do your question mark, and let's just do this real quick. You can do a question mark A, and it pulls up all the vendors that start with A. Or I can do question mark AP, and it pulls up all the customers that start with AP, and so on. Hit return. X return goes backwards. Everything that I showed you in the previous alpha scans apply here. And you can type in new and add a new vendor as well. That being said, we're just going to key in 1000, which whenever we set up a new installation, it is the main vendor is what we set up as 1000. So it's easy to remember. In this case too, 1000 was the particular distribution center, but all the checks go to vendor number 1362. Think of it like Kentucky Fried Chicken has 4,000 stores nationwide, but all the checks are sent to the main corporate headquarters. It works along the same line. Okay, so by hitting return, we get down to comment if there's any. Purchase agent should be yourself. In this case, I'm just leaving it at the house. Ship via the best way. We leave that up to the vendor. FOB, at what point do we take ownership as we're buying this product? Carrier does it where as soon as it leaves their dock, you take ownership. So freight on board is what that means. Unit serial number, if we're buying something like a new unit that has a serial number and we want to track it coming in and going out. In this case, we're not going to do that. Job or category number does not apply in this case. Okay, sales tax code. By the way, the net 30 defaults to what is on the vendor master for terms. Tax code is R for resale. In other words, we've set up paperwork with them so they will not charge us sales tax. Default sales tax is 8.1% in this example. Even though it's there because it's got an R for resale, it will not charge sales tax. Okay, now this is the required date. When do you need this by? You could do a +5 and it will calculate +5 days from today's date. It's basically a due date. You're just letting them know, here's when I need it. The addendum, just like on the sales order or work order, allows you to say anything special instructions. Let's see. Oops, please deliver after 5 p.m. And I'm just doing this for an example. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of part numbers here just to keep it simple, and we'll see how it works. And I'm not doing case quantities. I just want to do individual quantities so that we can keep this training session simple. All right, I'm going to start with this part number 14-00209-00. And before I go there, okay, well, this is really what I wanted to show. The quantity on hand for this branch is 22. What's due through the PO system already is 10, giving us available quantity to sell of 32. Well, on another screen here, this is that same part number for all stores. The PO was just showing it for the individual store. In this case, there's 124 on hand corporate wide, and we have 30 on order from supplier throughout all the branches. I'm referring to this because I'm going to come back to this as the quantities change as we do different things here. So I'm going to do a quantity of 20. 1461 is my price. And again, actually, let me go back one. If I type in last, it will show me, just like before, here's what I paid for that product last. So when you're talking to a vendor, if they're trying to slip a price increase through, it's not going to be an easy task for them to do. Of course, I had to pick a very high-end part number, right? All right. So let's just go there, and I'm going to key in my 20, my price. And if a customer or if a vendor quotes you a higher price, you can type in the letter L here, and it allows you to change the list price and the cost without leaving the purchase order. It changes it on the inventory so that when that part comes in or when it goes for sale in the shop, the new price increase has been passed along. That way you don't miss margin. It's really important. So I'm just going to hit return for this so it doesn't change. Okay, my extended value is 22. Let's just pick another part number, 07-0031. Oops, 317-00. And let's do 10 of that, 44. Okay, so here's my total thing. Now let's go look at the inventory. Remember, oops, I hit that with my mouse. That same part number, 14-00209. Okay, this shows that 30 on hand before we started. Remember, we just ordered 20. 14-00209-00. And remember, this is for all stores. So immediately my quantity on order from supplier has been increased. And I'm going to keep referring to this all the way through so you can see how it affects the inventory. Okay. So, basically, I want to do a P to print. And it's going to produce a PDF. And most people don't print stuff on paper, but here's a written confirmation of your agreed to price and whatever else happens here. So as an example, this is saying I bought it from carrier, but I want it shipped here. Anything else on here that's relevant? No. Other than, again, we want to send this to the vendor in a form of email. Oops. Yeah, let's go there. Digital FMC, let's do that one. That's what we want to do. GEMO. GEMO. Yeah, of course. GEMO for P. Click send. It immediately goes out to the vendor. Alright, so at this point, we've produced a purchase order. It's been sent to the vendor. And now, I'm just going to close this PDF.